this is Brian with the Lit Cave, and I am back with my October 2014 wrap-up. You may notice that a lot of my videos are starting to have numbers after them. That's something that I'm trying to do. I will be creating playlists based on specific types of videos. So, for instance, there will be a playlist of wrap-ups, there will be a playlist of hauls, there will be a playlist of TBRs. There will be a playlist that's just series wrap-ups, where I wrap up entire series at once. So that's something that I'm trying to do just to make it a little easier for you to find what you're interested in watching here on my channel, which I hope is everything, but you can kind of get a little bit more specific. So I need to get going here on this video because this is a pretty big wrap-up. In October, I read 13 books, which is great. My 2014 reading challenge is to read 100 books in the year 2014, and I'm at like I'm at 76. 76 books is what I've read so far. In order to meet this challenge, I've got to read more than 3 books a week, which is quite a bit. And I'm not sure if I'm going to meet it, but I'm going to do the best that I can. So for this month, 13 books was a good addition. So let's jump right in and start talking about the books. Some of these books I won't talk about in great detail because I've talked about them on previous videos, but I will give you a little bit of information. So the first book that I finished in October was Aristotle and Dante, Discover the Secrets of the Universe. I finished on October 1st. By the way, this book is by Benjamin Alir Sayens. I finished that book on October 1st. I really liked it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It was better than I expected it to be. I did like the characters. I liked the development. I liked the story. I had a lot of great quotes from it on my WordPress blog. But it just was not my favorite book overall. So I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The next thing I read after that was I read Blood Promise, which is book 4 in the Vampire Academy sextet. And Blood Promise was probably my least favorite out of the series. I did talk about these books in my series wrap-up video, so for more detail about the Vampire Academy books, you probably want to watch that video. The next book that I finished was The Iron Trial by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare. This is a middle grade book, and I really enjoyed it. It's kind of a different take on the whole idea of a magic school. You know, it gets a lot of comparisons to Harry Potter because it's kids going into a magic school, but this is quite a bit different. And the main character, the character that you're kind of following throughout the story, has some twists and turns that you might not expect in the series, but are pretty good. And I don't want to say too much more than that because I don't want to spoil it, but it's a good book. I'm looking forward to continuing reading that series as Holly Black and Cassandra Clare continue it. After The Iron Trial, I read Spirit Bound, which is the Vampire Academy book 5, and I loved it. Liked it a lot. It kind of remotivated me after not really enjoying book 4 quite so much. The next book I read was The Blood of Olympus, which is the 5th and final book in the Heroes of Olympus quintet, which the Heroes of Olympus series kind of follows the Percy Jackson series. So I really enjoyed The Blood of Olympus. Some of the things that you've seen in other videos, I would say are probably true. It didn't feel like there was quite enough Percy Jackson in this book, which is okay because it's about all the heroes, but I still kind of would have liked a little bit more Percy Jackson. And the other thing was that it kind of ended pretty quickly, and you know, then you're left with, like, you know, tears because the books that you've been enjoying reading for all these years are over. But really good book, great conclusion to the series. You know, probably 4 out of 5 stars is what I gave it. Okay. After The Blood of Olympus, the next book I read was Last Sacrifice, which is the final book in the Vampire Academy series, and it was awesome. It was amazing. I think I read it in like a day and a half. You know, and that's with me working. So really good, and I really enjoyed it, and I am looking forward to reading the Bloodline series at some point, but kind of got a huge list of books to read before then. So the next book I read, I got from my library, just like I got the Vampire Academy books, and that's A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, and that book was amazing. So beautiful, so well written, so interesting. I think you should go into it kind of blind, and there's so much information already out on the book that I don't want to say much, but it's kind of up there in my favorites now. Short, easy to read, and challenging. After that, I read Love Letters to the Dead by Ava DeLera, and it was a great book. A lot of people compare it to The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and there's definitely some relatable things there. I like The Perks of Being a Wallflower quite a bit more than this book. What I do like about this book is that it integrates, current pop culture better than The Perks of Being a Wallflower does. And so, growing up in the '90s, there were a lot of characters in that book that a lot of people that our narrator is writing letters to that I had an emotional bond with. So that was kind of fun. So good book, fun read, easy to read. So probably 3 out of 5 stars. And then after that, I read We Were Liars, which is on track. This is by E. Lockhart, and this is on track right now to be the book of 2014. Really good book. Probably 4 out of 5 stars. Try not to know anything about the book before you go into it. You will love it. You'll be frustrated at parts, but you will love the book. So, We Were Liars. After that, I actually read a graphic novel. This is Justice League Volume 5, which is Forever Heroes. This is coming out of the... I always do that. This is coming out of the Forever Evil crossover graphic novel. And so you can see on the cover here, we've actually got the Crime Syndicate. There we go. That's sad. We've got the Crime Syndicate on the cover, which is like Ultraman and Superwoman and Power Ring and that kind of stuff. And characters I've not really been known that much about, but interesting read, I'd say probably 4 out of 5 stars. Not one of my favorite graphic novels, but I love the Justice League, and I think this is making some connections that will make the Justice League get better. So, okay, so after I read that, got to pull up my Goodreads list again. Okay, after I read that, I read Vicious by V.E. Schwab, and this was the Little Book Club Book of the Month, and I had heard a lot of good things about this, and I really liked it. This was the first time I'd read a book where there was not a character that I totally supported throughout the book. There were some, I kind of felt like everyone was just a little bit of a scumbag, but still a really interesting book. And I would be interested in reading anything that follows this storyline. So I recommend that you read this. It's vicious. Then after that, I read The Sky is Everywhere by Jan D. Nelson. And I actually started out reading this on audiobook through audible.com, but I needed a break. I was trying to read A Tale of Two Cities, which I got about 150, 160 pages into, and I needed a break from something so heavy, so I switched to The Sky is Everywhere, and The Sky is Everywhere is definitely an easier read, very beautiful, kind of heartbreaking in some ways, but gorgeous read. I would probably give this 4.5 out of 5 stars, and I really recommend that you read it. This is The Sky is Everywhere by Jan D. Nelson. And that leads me to my last read of the month, which was quite a book, and that is City of Heavenly Fire. City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare. So this is a good 740-page book. Awesome. So good. And I'll probably do a wrap-up video over the Mortal Instruments series after I finish the Infernal Devices series and the Modern Fairy Tales series, since they all kind of tie together. But this was so good, and I cannot wait until Cassandra Clare starts publishing the Dark Artifices series, which is the series connected to the Mortal Instruments world that'll come after the Mortal Instruments series. So, really good. I highly recommend this series. Okay? So, that is my 13 books that I read in the month of October. And I'm doing a separate TBR video because this is a pretty long video already, and I have a pretty long list of books that I want to read in November. And I'm hoping I can get it done. I feel like I'm already behind, and it's only November 2nd, but we'll see what we can get done. So, anyway, I hope that you enjoyed my wrap-up. You want to tell me in the comments section what you read and what you enjoyed, and I hope that you liked what I read. And until the next time I post a video, same lit time, same lit channel.